Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Zaionagaming here, back again with another Warcraft Rumble PvP oriented video. And do you guys hate dealing with these unbound decks but like to play unbound decks? Well, we've got a treat for you today. We're playing Jaina Face. I finally unlocked this stupid hero last week, leveled up some of the cards, did some dungeons, got her PvP relevant, and we're going to show you how to decimate your opponents with one of my all-time favorite decks, one of the most toxic nonsense decks in the game. It is basically Unbound, but it doesn't suck. Unbound decks are super dumb, super easy to deal with. This one is it's in its own world of toxic. It makes Maiev Shadow Song's Unbound look absolutely atrocious in comparison. Very fun deck. Runs a cost of 2.9, but that's going to drop, and we're going to explain it here. We obviously take Jaina Proudmoore. We're going to grab her with clear casting. Every time you play her, it's going to drop the cost of your next spell immediately after she's played by one. Further dropping this deck down, it's a very, very, very fast cycle deck. Jaina does a lot of heavy single target damage. You mostly use her slow pushed in the back because you want her on the field to increase the damage of your spells. It's going to make them absurd. We're taking it with Execute. You'll notice. Execute with Jaina on the field can literally 75% health a elite golem or a lava golem thing. It can 75% health an abomination. It's absurd. We're taking Execute with Killing Spree, so when we murder something with it, our Stonehoof Tauren here, which we have for a melee bruiser threat with a CC stun, is gonna cost 3. It'll drop for 3, further reducing the cost of this deck. We're taking the de facto Defias Bandits used on defense a lot of the time into these other Unbound decks, because they're going to spam stun the heck out of stuff under your tower. For one cost, you can't complain. We take it with Picklock, allowing us, when we grab chests with him, to get 4 gold out the gates. And that 4 gold, I promise you, goes a long way. We're going to take Blizzard with Cold Snap. That talent is obviously replaceable if you prefer something else. I like Cold Snap. Up to you. And we're going to take... that's going to do a buttload of extra damage with Jaina, by the way, clearing ridiculous amounts of creatures for 4. We're taking Safe Pilot with Gnomish Cloaking Device. Not mandatory. It is our only damage in the deck. And we're taking Quillbore with Instant Deploy. These 2 cards, Quillbore and our Gnomish Pilot, are going to be what's doing damage to Face, along with a couple of spells, and this is called Face Jaina for a reason. We're basically clearing the board with our ridiculous bonus to elemental damage, which, by the way, the impact from Safe Pilot gets advantage of that bonus damage, believe it or not, even though she is a ranged unit and not a spell, she still gets that bonus damage from Jaina for some reason. I've done testing. I promise you it is a thing. So when we get our troops on, we're going to obviously take the Quillbore to eat the tower shots along with this hidden on the side to do some damage. You don't want them stacked. We can hit him in the face with Execute with our little Frost Nova here as well. It's basically Unbound. We'll jump into a game. I'll show you how it works. I've pushed some trophies just so I'm not playing against noobs. We are dealing with a lot of Unbound decks this season because of the way the map works. And if you like to play those Unbound decks, or you want to ruin an Unbound deck with just a better version, run this. I'm telling you now. Unfortunately, we are against a Baron. This deck and most Unbound decks do not do good into Swarm, but we're going to do our best here and try and pick up a win. Off the gates, let's steal their chest. Let's drop these to grab our own. And slow push a Jaina on the side. with a miner. It looks like we're spending a lot of elixir, but these guys are going to grab 4. I don't want to overcap, so I'm throwing this guy out. Let's clear this. As you can see, it can be pretty devastating. We're going to tank. We're going to hold with another Jaina. It's very, very simple. It's a semi-cycle deck, but we go face. Religiously, we go face. There's nothing they can do about it. Get rid of this. And there's no harm in wasting spells like that. Unfortunately, we don't have Jaina on the field for it. But no harm. As you can see, we're doing an absurd amount of damage. Even though this guy's deck is a hard counter to our own. Slow pusher Jaina. Try and get 4 with that chest. And it looks like one more go at face and we take the win. I might even just spell bomb him, to be completely honest. Let's do it. Spell bomb him. We win here. Probably going to throw an execute. See that ridiculous damage with Jane on the field, and that's game. We're just going to ignore that. Basically unbound. I'm hoping to play it into an unbound deck so I can just show you guys here that it is just a better version of unbound. Into bruisery decks, you can play it control too. It has no issues whatsoever. Playing control into things like Tyrion push, because you do have the execute. When you kill, oh perfect, an unbound deck. When you kill stuff with execute, it's gonna drop the cost of your cards. So, or of your singular card, I suppose I should say. And we just defend here. Because we know they're playing unbound. We just defend. No big deal. We're just saving up for a push. We're getting so much gold. Instant stun. Maiev here. Get rid of that. Let's throw this and get some damage into tower here. You can see I'm playing somewhat defensive while I'm playing aggressively. And we're just keeping these Jainas on the field. We're probably just going to execute this. That'll drop the cost of our Torrens, so it's realistically an execute for 1. We just keep clearing the field here. I am going a little heavy on elixir, which is a little risky. Oh, I didn't quite get the tank on that. I kind of threw. We might lose off of that, actually. Fortunately, I had execute, so we do end up winning this. Very close, though. I kind of made a pretty major mistake there. Wasting too much elixir, knowing that they're playing unbound. You want to be sitting on stuff to defend with. But we still took the win, even with that mistake, which a lot of times you can't make a mistake into unbound decks. Otherwise, they'll punish you pretty hard. Similar to Sneed. We'll play another one here because these are fast games, as it is an unbound deck. But this is one of my all-time favorite Jaina decks. There is Jaina Spell Cycle. There's Jaina Control. I like Jaina Face because it's incredibly toxic. That bonus damage to execute that you can just hit them into tower with. Bonus damage to your Frost Rain. I can't even think of the name right now. I'm running on like 0 sleep in the last 30 hours. Apologies in advance again for the quality of this sound for the video. My device is still demolished. But we're playing a Sneed, so I'm not too concerned right now about defending. We're just kind of doing our thing. We'll wait for our opportunity. Let's drop this. Oh, man, I messed it up again. That's okay. You guys get the idea, though. Boop. Might as well hit him in the face with an execute. Just defending our miner with our slow push Jaina. You know what? Let's just do some random damage. Him slow pushing a what do you call it? Him slow pushing this Abomination is going to be very, very not good for him. He's not going to have a fun time. We want to get a Jaina on the field, and we're going to just frost that down. You see how much gold income we have? And execute. Boom. Done. You can see how absurd that damage is. There's almost nothing they can do. As you can see, they've done literally no damage to us, and we are killing their abominations at the same time as our push, as opposed to the regular unbound deck. We're still clearing the board at least while we do this, right? It's very, very toxic, and it's hard to deal with. This is probably not long enough of a video. Let's do another one, because we're on a bit of a rampage here. Might as well. You guys can watch, get a real good feel for the deck. It does take a lot of practice. It's not an easy deck by any means to play. It's going to take some skill. Unbound decks in general are actually quite skill-based. Even though it does seem like they're throwing stuff in your mouth the entire game, that's not how you're supposed to play unbound decks. That's just how noobs play unbound decks. And you see it quite often, but such is life. I might consider freezing this. Why not? All right, get rid of this because I hate Banshee. I think that's going to kill our Jaina, unfortunately, but let's tank. Let's slow push another Jaina. As long as Jaina stays up, that's what's most important. Because she's going to allow us to do things like this and just completely clear the board. You can see we're getting mid-gold this entire time. If I want, I can execute that, but I'm not going to bother. Oh, I messed up again. Shoot. Shoot! I'm a little rusty. I'm very, very tired today. But we're doing what we can here. The charge will kill that. Tower will kill that. Slow push another Jaina. Oh, wow. That was good. I didn't even see that connection, but that's okay. We want to try and get some damage into face before he comes in and destroys us. We can beat him here, to be honest. We're just going to wait for execute to come up. We're going to let him hit tower. We win right here. GG. Just gotta watch my health. We're fine. Very nice. Easy. This deck, even though I did manage to beat two Baron Rivendare decks, Baron Rivendare, especially when they have the Frost Mages, it's a hard deck for this deck to beat. Some things that you will struggle against is Baron Rivendare, Hogger, Dracasath, and some Rend Blackhand decks, if they're taking Flamewaker, will obliterate you if they know how to play. But here is the deck list again, guys. I hope you pick up the deck, try it out, see if you have fun with it, have a good time. In my opinion, it is one of the stronger Jaina decks. It's certainly 20k viable in terms of your PvP trophies. And especially during this map where everybody's playing Unbound, this is just better Unbound. So consider trying it, consider picking it up, and have an advantage of those players that haven't discovered this deck yet. Jaina Face, once again, sorry for the audio quality. I'm still working on fixing the other device, guys. But we're making do with what we got. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and keep on rumbling.